Two men wake up in a run-down bathroom with no recollection of how they got there. They'll soon discover that they are the latest possible victims of the sadistic serial killer known as Jigsaw, who challenges his victims to survive deadly games that are designed to test their true will to live. Welcome, fellow horror movie enthusiasts, to another chilling recap by Sinister Snapshots, where we indulge in the thrills and chills of our favorite horror films. Whether you're a die-hard fan or just looking for a refresher, we're here to ensure that you won't forget the horrors. Get ready, my friends, as we dive into the first movie in this franchise series, 2004's psychological thriller, Saw. The film opens up with a man unconscious in a bathtub as the audience follows an object floating around in the water. The man wakes up and pulls the drain stop on the tub, making the water go down as the object gets sucked down the drain with the water. He gets out of the bathtub and realizes that he's chained to a pipe. He hears another person who turns out to also be chained to the pipe in the room as the lights turn on. The two men are Adam Stanheidt and Dr. Lawrence Gordon. They soon realize that they're not the only two people in this room. Between them lies a lifeless body with its head blown off. The body is holding a tape recorder in one hand and a revolver in the other. Adam then finds a tape with the words "Play Me" written on it in his back pocket, as Lawrence finds a tape, a bullet, and a key in his pocket. They take the tape recorder from the lifeless body and play their tapes. Adam listens to his tape first, which explains to him that he needs to escape the room, or else he may die within it. Lawrence tosses Adam his tape for Adam to listen to. On this tape, Adam finds out that Lawrence must kill him by 6 p.m., or else both Lawrence's wife Allison and daughter Diana will be killed. The tape ends with a cryptic message. X marks the spot for the treasure. Adam searches around the room and finds two hacksaws inside of the toilet, along with some photographs that he hides from Lawrence. The men begin to use the saws to try to cut through their ankle chains, to no avail. Lawrence realizes that their captor does not want them to cut through their chains, but to cut through their feet. Lawrence then tells the story of the serial killer who was actually suspected to be himself at one point. The killer is known as Jigsaw, who got this name in honor of the puzzle pieces that he's known to cut out of his victims. The film then flashes back to previous crimes done at the hands of Jigsaw, the first of which being a man named Paul, who had to get through a maze of razor-sharp wire within 2 hours, or else he would be locked in the room with no escape. The next flashback is a man named Mark, who was forced to walk around the room with a candle to get a safe combination in order to obtain an antidote for a poison that was in his system. In this scenario, the man was covered in a flammable substance, and the floor was covered in broken glass as he was barefoot making his way around the room. The investigators discovered a pen light at the crime scene that belonged to Lawrence. The flashback continues to Lawrence analyzing a tumor at his doctor's office with a group of colleagues listening to his diagnosis. A member of the staff named Zepp walks in and reveals that the patient's name is John. Dr. Gordon gets paged and opens the door of his office to detectives Tapp and Singh in the homicide department. They question Lawrence on his whereabouts, where he admits that he was actually spending the night with a woman who was not his wife, Allison. The alibi checks out, and in walks a victim named Amanda, who managed to escape Jigsaw's grips. She was put in a room with a reverse bear trap-like device around her face that was set to rip her jaw open if she did not find the key to unlock the device that was said to be in the stomach of her dead cellmate. Amanda later found out that the cellmate was not dead, but was alive and was drugged to the point of being temporarily paralyzed, so she was actually forced to kill him in order to save herself. The scene cuts back to Adam and Lawrence on the bathroom floor. Adam begins yelling at Lawrence and threatens to cut him with a broken piece of glass from the mirror. He then realizes that it's a two-way mirror and throws an item to shatter the remainder of it, revealing a camera that's recording them. Lawrence mentions that the last thing Diana said to him was that a man was in her room watching her, which he dismissed as a bad dream. Lawrence then shows Adam some photos of his family, and within them, he sees a signed photo from Jigsaw of them tied up, which Adam tries to hide from Lawrence. We see the events of the abduction firsthand, and at the same time, the Gordon house is being watched by Tapp from the outside. In the time since Lawrence's detention, Tapp used the videotape of Amanda's abduction to find Jigsaw's warehouse. He and Singh went to the warehouse and were able to apprehend Jigsaw as he was about to kill another man with a drill trap. However, Jigsaw was able to escape the detectives by slashing Tap's throat and killing Singh with a shotgun trap, as Tap manages to escape with his life. Tap is convinced that Lawrence is Jigsaw and continues to stalk him in his own personal investigation. We're brought back to the bathroom, where Lawrence finds 2 cigarettes, a lighter, and a one-way cell phone. This makes him recall his abduction in a parking garage by an individual with a pig mask. Lawrence and Adam have a conversation that ends in Adam passing Lawrence the photo of his abducted family. They decide to stage Adam's death using a cigarette dipped in the corpse's poisoned blood. This plan ultimately fails when Adam is electrically shocked through his ankle chain, revealing that he's still alive. While lying in pain, Adam recalls his own abduction, which occurred in his photo development room. Adam found an ominous puppet and was attacked by a man wearing the same pig mask that abducted Lawrence. The one-way phone rings. Lawrence answers, and Allison and Diana are on the other end of the line, held up at gunpoint. Allison tells Lawrence not to trust Adam, which forces Adam to reveal that he was hired by someone to take pictures of Lawrence. The person believed Lawrence was having an affair with one of the medical students. Adam describes the person, and Lawrence realizes that it was Detective Tap. Some of the photos that Adam took were in the bag containing the hacksaws. While looking at the photos, he realizes that there's a photo that he did not take of a man staring out of a window of the Gordon house. Upon looking at the man, Lawrence identifies the man from his hospital, Zepp. At 6 p.m., Zepp goes in to kill Allison and Diana. After he calls Lawrence, Allison is able to free herself and fight for his gun. The struggle gets Tap's attention as he rushes into the house and saves both Allison and Diana as he chases Zepp into the sewer. They have an altercation that ends in Tap being shot in the chest. Back in the bathroom, Lawrence is aware of only the gunshots and screaming from the phone. In his panic, he loses hold of the phone and drops it and is unable to retrieve it. In his desperation, he saws off his own foot and shoots Adam with the corpse's revolver. Zepp enters the bathroom to kill Lawrence, according to the rules he's been given by Jigsaw. However, Adam is still alive and bludgeons Zepp to death with the toilet tank lid. Lawrence slowly crawls out of the room, leaving Adam behind. Adam searches Zepp's body for a key to the shackles and uncovers another tape which reveals that Zepp was not Jigsaw, but was actually a victim of the killer who had ingested poison. As the tape ends, the corpse in the middle of the bathroom stirs and reveals himself to be John Kramer, the patient from Lawrence's hospital earlier, who is the true Jigsaw killer. He reveals that the key to Adam's chain went down the tub drain when he first woke up. Adam attempts to shoot Jigsaw with Zepp's gun, but gets shocked with a remote. Jigsaw turns to leave and shuts out the lights, yelling, "Game over," before closing the door and leaving a screaming Adam to die. That wraps up our Sinister Snapshots recap of Saw. If you enjoyed this recap, do not forget to subscribe to Sinister Snapshots, your one-stop destination for the best horror film recaps. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on the latest and most horrifying tales from the best and most chilling films in the horror genre. And of course, leave a comment below about what other horror movie recaps or sinister stories you'd like to see next.